Hey, good morning. So today, I'm blowing the body all back apart and getting ready to lift it off the frame. Sounds like a lot more work than it is. It's only literally 8 bolts that are all very easy to get to, knock on wood. So my plan is I will lift this car up, take out the 8 bolts, lower it because I'm under the frame right now. I'll lower it back down onto the skates and then put the lift under the body, lift the body straight up. And then I'm going to, I have these 2 very large pieces of steel laying around for a reason, and a third one there, which doesn't seem to be related. I'm going to build a slightly different jig for my for the rotisserie. So I'm going to try to build a jig that I can mount this tub to and extend it off the front and rear enough so that I have good access for paint. And I'll show you what I mean, but I'm not going to set up the whole auto twirler again and do all that. That's just too much and it's too restrictive. I need something that can get spaced away from the body enough so that I can do the bed liner underneath and the lizard skin up top and do all the stuff I need to do, and then eventually paint the jambs. So that's what I'm going to work on next once I get this off, and I'll kind of take you along as I get that going. I'm going to be able to use a lot of the parts from the auto twirler. I'm very confident of that anyway. We'll see. And I'm hoping that with those pieces, I should be able to just use these 2 sticks here as rails between the points on the rotisserie. So we'll see. Again, I got to get it off the frame first, so that's what I'm going to do next. I've taken the doors off. I've actually drilled 1/8-inch holes through the hinges and into the A-pillar, so I know exactly how those hinges go back on. So when I get this back together, I can line it up fairly easily. And the same thing on the door. I put a couple of holes in the just little 1/8-inch holes through the hinge and through the door. I can get those lined up, snug my bolts up, and have a very good starting point. Anyway, yeah, that's it. I'll bring you back when I get that body off there and show you what I'm into. There it is. Okay, just gonna roll that out of the way now. Start working on figuring out how to jig that body up. Most of the masking seems to have worked okay. Got a few spots I need to clean, but you know, it's better than having to clean all of it. So, gonna roll this out of the way. Start working on jigging this up. Okay. I'm ready to put this on the rotisserie. I just set up these rails, picked up all the body points for where my frame mounts, and just literally use the auto twirler brackets. This pipe isn't 3 inches, 2.5 plus whatever, so I had to put in a piece of wood there to make up the extra 1/2 inch, but it all worked very, very slick. So I've got those 2 rails parallel to the bottom, parallel to each other. Now I'm just going to slide the rotisserie in these ends. I do have to drill and work out some bolts, some nuts to clamp it to the rotisserie, but that should be fairly easy. Anyway, that's it for right now. I'm going to get the rotisserie set up next and start getting it engaged. All right. Got it up on the rotisserie. Everything is holding well. Now I got a few small things to take care of. Get ready for to roll it into the paint shop and start working on jams. I think I'm also, at the same time I paint the jams, I'm going to follow Jonathan's at Vinyl Village Garage, his lead, and I think I'm going to paint the rockers at the same time I do the jams, and then just mask off on the rocker line. Just to kind of, those are really difficult to paint when it's all together, and to get good coverage, I think that's what I should do. So anyway, I'm going to give that a go. I've got a number of things that need to be scuffed. A lot of this epoxy that was done ages ago needs to be scuffed so it can be done over in white, just so that I have the same base coat on everything before I start doing jam work. I got to remove the steering column, a number of small things. So I'm going to have at that this morning, and I'll let you know when I'm ready to show you something meaningful. Okay, got it back in the paint booth, and I seam sealed the lower edges here. That came out pretty good. So I'm going to now epoxy this firewall and these inside door jams. I got the upper cowl masked off and the lower firewall masked off, so I can get a good coat of epoxy on this now. This is already epoxy, obviously, but I really want to get it in the white epoxy so it has the same base coat when I start doing the body color, so nothing looks weird. So I'm going to hit that next. I'll bring you back when I have something to show you, but we're in the booth again today. This is going to be a process. I got it on the rotisserie, as you can see, so I can flip it and get the bottom side of these rockers real well, because you can see I've already missed them once. So want to get that taken care of, the A-pillars, then I'll flip it right up on its side and upside down, and the next step after all this is doing the bed liner on the bottom, the coating on the bottom. So, but for right now, today I'm just concentrating on this epoxy effort. And the paint should be here. I did order the bulk paint that I needed after all my experimentation with colors, and that should be here before the weekend. So I'm hoping to actually get some body color on this soon for the jams, the rockers, firewalls, and yeah, it'll be nice to see it start to come together a little bit more. So I feel like I've been doing body work and sanding forever, but we're getting there. It's coming out nice. Can't really complain about anything. So off to it. All right, we got the backside of the doors and the door jams in epoxy. And we got the jams for the tub done. Firewall's done. So now everything will be in the same base primer when we start to apply the color. I did the bottom side of the trunk deck as well, and my buddy's rear door for a 57 Chevy Bel Air. This thing, it took a massive hit, and somebody just literally beat it in and filled it with a 1/2 inch of Bondo. So I spent some time, pulled that back out best I could. Should only be slightly over 1/8 inch of Bondo now, believe it or not. But it, I sealed that up with a black epoxy that I had. So that was just another car a friend of mine's working on. So anyway, this is good to go. The next step is I'm going to flip this over tomorrow and start prepping the bottom for the rock guard or the bed liner or whatever you want to call it, rocket. And once that's done, I'm going to do the lizard skin inside for sound deadening and thermal insulation. That'll happen shortly thereafter. And in the inner doors and the trunk area will also be lizard skin. So we'll take you through that whole process too. But so I think I'm done doing the epoxy seal coat on the tub and all the jams. Should be able to start hitting this with some body color soon, which will be exciting. It'll be at least something different. So next steps,